to be casters. Yeah, that's Onel and
Rare Candy.
Rare Candy.
Yep. Rare Candy is a proud Cebuano.
Cebuano.
That's right.
He's got great English.
They do.
He sounds very, you know, maybe we'll see him in the future, but there it is, Turizla and the Kaja. They mentioned they needed, like, I think it was Onel that mentioned ONIC needs this initiator. You know, they need that kind of tanky lineup front line. Well, they get this with the Turizla, and then you get a catch roam with the Kaja.
You also know this. You know, you need someone to get things set up, but look at that. Lancelot, where have you been? Coming back in for Omega.
Okay.
Let's see how that...
There's maybe one or two, now two, that pick up the Lancelot currently in Season 17 in the MPL Philippines. So here we go. We're jumping into it. It's a best of three between ONIC Philippines and Smart Omega. Again, they've both locked in their spots for the playoffs already, sitting at 3rd and 4th seeds. This one is a battle between the C. Who can get the momentum going into the playoffs?
I really do love that Lancelot. I'm just not 100% sure it's going to fare well against a lineup that has a Kaja and can kind of just lock you down. Although it's great for poking around the gourd. I'm sure you've had your fair share of, you know, Lancelot's trying to get back into your back line. Yeah. But it's just a little bit harder, especially if Brusco is having a good day.
Yeah, it's... How many times... I missed the stat there. I know we've seen Kaja maybe, what, once or twice. Not too much.
Very niche. Very niche appearances.
Yeah. This is what I like, though. I like it when there is some of that shake-up going on. Whoa!
King Kong here, sent back. That's what you call a technical knockout.
TKO, get your butt into the base.
Yep,
and they're doing that right now very beautifully here. I feel like Omega's exerting just enough pressure while also just keeping their life bars in kind of check.
And that's what I'm saying. This is the different Omega we've seen this season, man. You know, like, they're willing to go ahead and be a little aggressive in the early game. Go ahead and play around the jungle if they want to. It feels like this is a more confident Omega than we've seen in a long time, and they're able to go ahead and rotate the map to go ahead and showcase that.
Already there's a few interesting decisions Omega has made. Ryzen, he's actually rocking the HP-based retribution.
Yeah.
Right.
What's up with that?
I mean, that just keeps you in the game, right? That just keeps you in the game longer. Very similar to Tank Lancelot, the way that we will usually play it, but more on the safe side.
Okay, in before that actually happens. Now the turtle started up. Percival hit with Deadly Magics, catches it with much gusto. Quicksand guards the damage all away, and Ryzen secures turtle number 1.
Okay, so that was a great zoning play, too, from Omega to go ahead and set up around that, but right now the goal lane... Okay, so Vero's going to be fine. Is there any response there? No. So, objective secured for Smart Omega. No fight breaks out. No one goes down just yet.
Yeah, in fairness, that was a very good, you know, trade. And you're right. It was such a free zone.
Yeah.
Created here by Omega. There wasn't even a contest. And at this point, putting more pressure on ONIC, it's exactly what they need to do. They need to make this Harley's World smaller and smaller to a point where it's not going to do that much damage. Ryzen can kind of deadly, just 4 rows away of Deadly Magic. You've got also Perks who can just quicksand guard it.
Yep.
And I think we'll see that right here.
Oh, wow.
As long as you time it properly, you are safe.
He Thorn rose away the proc of the damage up top. A little bit of action. Some ults dropped by our gold laners.
Once Brusco hits his 4, we'll have to watch out for who he decides to go and pick off. Yes, Omega's lineup gives them a lot of utility to go ahead and get out of, let's say, Deadly Magics and everything else, but it's more so of, you look at both sides, they have great pick potential, right? They're going to go ahead and be able to utilize whether that's the roamers to do that. I mean, obviously, a Kaja, you have a little more straightforward way of, let me just grab someone and get this flicker off so we can get an automatic numbers advantage in terms of fighting into objectives. But for Smart Omega, letting Netsuki farm up on this Harith, again, he's been able to do that so well, is part of the game plan, but also utilizing Ryzen. Is he going to be more of an aggressive Lancelot, or is he going to be more of that bruiser, kind of tankier type we're used to see?
I'm excited for the latter. What if he does?
What if he does, right? Or it could be, again, maybe a Fredrin cosplay, you know, try to stay in the front as much as possible. That's what they're trying to do. And I wonder if he does that, right? Well, look at the build, though, right? That feels like
Warax.
It's Warax.
Yeah. And then where from there?
Yeah. That might just be, you know, that first item to get him.
Endless, maybe?
Yeah.
Or Brute Force. I can already hear and see in chat all of the Burmese fans.
Oh, boy.
Ken, formerly of Mythic Seal and Falcons.
Falcons, yep.
Used to do that a lot.
Yes, sir. Second turtle's up. Brusco might look to pull the trigger here. Super Prince gets his first item and gets Glowing Wand. King Kong already picked up the Genius Wand. That's the combination that usually is already enough to do quite a bit of burst damage in the early game. So you see, both teams knowing this, they're not going to fully commit yet. Perkz does get stunned. Netsky picking up his first item as well. Starting on the turtle, Ryzen's got control. The Severo's just around the corner, though.
Netsky's there, too.
Okay, just like that. Smart Omega secure. The turtle, gosh, thrown out. And James is in trouble. James gets taken out of the map here as Frizz draws first blood. Perxiva, with just about 1 HP, gets away.
Oh, they're
And they're
trying
not done!
to.
That's a projectile thrown out, forcing Mingwin to back on out of here, turning tail.
All right, all said and done, feels like ONIC still got a bit of a better trade there, just because they were able to push them back. Gives you more space to invade this jungle, and maybe, just maybe, buying more time for Severo.
Yep, Severo, you know, he was there.
Oh,
no, that's a stun.
Another projectile just bouncing to almost sheer death.
When you think about it, it's interesting, right? There are 2 projectiles that latch on the heroes.
Yeah.
Here, Harley as well as the Terizla. You gotta be very mindful for both of them.
Yeah, if you get trapped in this penalty zone, oh, Netsky.
What a
takes some
bait.
damage.
Netsky here committing the Zaman Force, and this kind of gives Frinz like a guide as to where you can put the gush.
Yeah, yeah. And not only that, too, that knowing the Zaman Force isn't available also gives Severo a bit of an upper hand up there, at least to control this part of the lane, and that's why you also have Perxiva up here, just to go ahead and make sure. Netsky should have that ultimate back up here shortly.
Yeah, Perxiva definitely doing a lot of the heavy lifting of absorbing all the aggression that's supposed to go to Mingwin and supposed to go to Netsky. That's why Netsky feels he's so confident, right? He's just joining these team fights non-stop. And it's a good look for them, honestly, despite ONIC obviously still having 1.1k gold lead. Item check here feels like, you know what, Netsky does have the items to go get ready. And, you know, we're looking at marksman trending here for Severo still, so that's still a lot of time. It's maybe like 5 minutes or 4 more minutes.
Yeah. The gush was used as peel.
Yep.
Because ONIC's not ready for the fight.
Nah, absolutely.
Yeah, they weren't ready for it, and sometimes that's what Fritz is going to have to do. Severo.
Wait. All right.
How is Severo policing Ryzen out of his own jungle?
He's just cutting that wave, man.
Supposed to be the other way around, honestly. So
like
catching up off guard.
Brusco comes in with Divine Judgment, but Perxiva wasn't having any of it. Zaman Force trapped in now, and they put it all on Brusco. Mingwin gets the kill. Ryzen making a beeline straight for the turtle, and there's the penalty zone. Perxiva catches Deadly Magics. Turtle still standing. 2-0 so far, making it 3-0 as Omega take 100% of these early game major objectives.
Okay, we're going to have to take a breather. Woo. Not sure which side. It looks like it's on. It looks like it's on ONIC side, but yeah, either way, that's 3 for 3 turtles. Ryzen has control of the objectives, and I think for ONIC, they've got to kind of figure out how are we going to approach the Lord when it gets to it. Because so far, Smart Man has done an amazing job at just posting up and controlling the space.
You guys seeing the zones that are being created by the Zaman Force, by James, just making sure that you can't really focus down on one target. And it's a big yo-yo. It's like a big tag team battle that's happening right now. James and Purge is going in and out, just really confusing the game plan here. At least he keeps it on here.
Oh, man.
All right.
Check him out if you can online. But yeah, we're going back to it. Not too much, not too much action. It's mostly been Smart Omega just controlling objectives. It looks like they're going to try to make a push up here on that top side, tier 1. Severo's here. He's got the information, but I don't think ONIC can really respond to this. So Smart Omega playing around their advantages for now.
That's right. Despite all the ejector trades, it just, it's an equalization, right? It's still ONIC who got a big chunk of that early lead. And right now, what they're fighting for is more on map control.
Oh my God. James here. It's his turn to kick out the opposing jungler. And now they sent 2 over. It's Kirk and Brusco. James refuses.
Yeah.
Mr. Gloria, you can't do this.
Woo. This guy's got a grudge, man.
Yeah, Hilda's so strong for this. And that was part of the key.
Oh, 1v1! Who's hanging? Severo has to back on out of that. Hey! Gets taken down. I call shenanigans.
Oh, no.
2v1.
Not done.
Mingwin, Crimson Beacon. No targets.
Whew, you can't bob and weave when there's a huge straight beam just in the bushes, man.
You're seeing the switches here, right?
Yeah.
Amazing switches. I know it's very basic, but you're looking at just masterful maneuvers here.
You know what? If that was a 1v1, I think Netsky would have won.
Yeah, if Fritz wasn't there, definitely he would have been able to go ahead and get that proc off and He had the Zaman Force too, so...
Oh, divine judgment on a James. James flickers through the wall, does survive even the gush, and in comes Ryzen. Does not want to push the issue.
I love that when the moment he saw Divine Judgment on cooldown, oh, it's my time. Ryzen just not going to be given anything here, at least for now.
Whoa, Perxiva jumps on a Savero, BMI out.
What is Ryzen building? He's got a Fury Hammer, he's got the War Axe.
And then he's on his way to Brute Force.
Is
there
that
it
Brute
is.
Force? Okay,
Brute
there's
Force.
Brute Force. There it is. All right.
Dean!
I thought he'd take it up second, but he ends up getting it third.
Dean, what's going on? He's building Bruiser Lancelot like it's 2022.
He said, you know what? Fury Hammer is all I need, bro.
Yeah.
And maybe a War Axe.
Yeah.
And it actually is fine. It's fine. Actually, it'll help the Lancelot with just so much in-game or in-fight survivability. And it just makes it so easy to take these objectives.
Oh, Perxiva halted there, stunted by the Mystic projection. King Kong taking the purple. Ryzen's off about 4 seconds.
Yeah, they gotta kind of wait here. There's at the same time, even with the Lord up, they really can't do too much commitment to it just yet. He's gonna go ahead. Ryzen grabs his purple buff. This is where we see ONIC actually wants to go ahead and fight for space control around this. Perxiva picking up his own Chastised Pauldrons. We got a good couple of defensive items picked up for Smart Omega here before this fight breaks out. They might go for a pick. It might even be ONIC that goes for a pick before the Lord take here. They don't have much that they can push with off the other side of the map, so they all want to be together. James.
2v1. He's got Savera and Kirk on him.
Oh, boy.
Brusco looking for targets.
He doesn't have
James will
flicker.
survive. Lord, you're at a 10 of his health. In comes Brusco. Savera coming in. Natsuke looking for the punish. Down goes Ryzen. Super Prince finds him. And Omega are left with one member missing. They take down another. King Kong kills Perxiva.
It looks so good for a moment there, but just when they need it the most, all this burst, all this AoE CC popping in from that gourd. And we're seeing the power of the gourd plus the Kaiju right now. Savero being such a free hit menace against Omega.
Yeah. Oh, no, there's the pull.
Divine Judgment on a James.
Another one.
No bush here, sir. No bush. Kirk here. Gonna get hit with that Crimson Lantern, but he survives.
He's alive.
Kirk James falls. Crimson Beacon by Mingwin. Revenge strike takes down the cap, and the Lord will pop the shield down bot.
It seemed like so much just happened there. Omega loses their shields. The Lord charges into that bottom turret. They still maintain it, but whoa, Ryzen! Okay. Woo! All right, he took so much damage. I gotta say, earlier on too, Savero, just to be able to zone out James and poke him down, and James didn't have a flicker to get away, was enough to go ahead and help them win the space around the Lord, which now has resulted to ONIC swinging hard in their favor, up 5,000.
It feels like James was doing a good job, right? Like, removing the gold laner from the fight was massive, but you forget, it's a Claude. It can BMI back in, and I think that's kind of what they forgot. And while that was happening,
Perxiva flickers back! Quick sand guard, recovering a little bit of health.
Yep,
a
so
little bit here.
now they gotta defend the base.
They go for it!
Oh, they're collapsing in. Brusco, Mingwin from the flank wants to get it, but he gets taken out of the fight. Crimson Beacon back, looking for more. Kirk jumps into the penalty zone.
Damn, Kirk!
Mystic projection cancels the Zaman Force, and they pull James. James with the flicker. Another projection. And a Deadly Magic's King Kong takes him down. Oh, Deadly Magic still held on to. Did not throw it out. Perxiva falls. ONIC are thrifty with it.
Man, that's like the perfect back and forth on both sides. And it's a tug of war. That's exactly what it looks
Literally.
like, Rockhart.
It's a literal tug of war where you're seeing a great push and pull. The problem is Omega just not quite have it yet.
Ryzen gets taken down. Traded off for King Kong. And then Netsky eventually falls. ONIC have lethal intent. Mingwin left to defend.
Man, we just hit, I don't know, this feels like watching a movie and getting to the climax where everything's just happening.
Mystic gush by Friends. Will not take down James. In comes the rest of them. Smart Omega, they want more.
They do not want to rest. They are trying to push back force for force. It's just not working out. It feels like Omega has the firepower, but they don't have the reach, man. They're trying to fight back, but it's like their arm is just 1 inch too short.
Yep, Savero, 2,000 gold ahead Netsky right now. It's just, you know, him on the Claude, he's been so effective, so efficient. And it's now, especially when you see him being able to utilize all of these items that he was able to farm up very quickly. You know, he's knocked down turrets. He's able to go ahead and just pump out damage. that Omega has to respect Severo alone, but in the meantime, they've also got to watch out for getting beamed down or Divine Judgment from Brusco. So Smart Omega has so many things to keep an eye on. And now even James, earlier on we saw him so aggressive, you know, go with James, big game James here. But now he's even got to be a little more hesitant. Conceal's going to be used.
Oh, big
Put down
conceal.
a third of his health. Perciva in the middle of it all. Catches some smoke. Ryzen forced the Phantom Execution not out. King Kong takes down Perciva. That is the second time this game that he's done that 1v1. Ryzen just barely gets out of that. And now Netsky dropping the down. The Divine Judgment from out of nowhere. Severo takes down Netsky.
Why did Netsky decide to drop the Zaman Force down there?
Eng Eng, man.
It's Eng moves.
Severo was prophetic with it. He said last week, he said, Eng Eng Kanetsky.
Eng Eng Kanetsky.
It's
What does
a
Eng Eng mean again for our viewers out there?
Not very bright.
Not very bright.
Is that the official?
Is that the official translation?
I think so.
Roughly.
Roughly.
Oh, inside the base, penalty zone plus the gush. Almost takes down both Mingwin
Nasty.
and Ryzen. And the Super Femmer on the base. They'll take game one.
That was just some nasty moves there being done by ONIC.